So next, if we look at the key components of VPC, so let's go back to the diagram again. Right. So as we looked at before, within the region, we have our VPC. So this is the default VPC, and we have a default subnet. So there will be more than one subnet, definitely. But for the purpose of this discussion, I'm just limiting that to one subnet. So we have one subnet, and these are the different components that we looked at. So the internet gateway, router, route table, NACL, and security groups. So each one of them have its own purposes, and we will go through them one by one. So the first element is the subnet. So that's this part here. So this is a logical division, basically. So a subnet is a logical partition of an IP network. In our case, that's the VPC IP network, into multiple smaller network segments for various reasons. It is typically used to subdivide large networks into smaller, more efficient subnet, both for performance and for security reasons as well. And then it has a range of IP addresses assigned to them within the VPC. So that is the CIDR range we allocate. For example, in this subnet, we have allocated the CIDR range 10.0.1.0/24. So if we are interested in finding out how much addresses I'm going to get, 10.0.1.0.24. So which means I'm going to get only 256 IP addresses. If we subtract 5, so that's 251 in total. So I could have, where is it? 251 IP addresses allocated within the subnet. So that's basically the IP addresses and ranges that we're talking about. Security groups. Okay, so security groups is basically a logical filter, and it's associated with an instance, an EC2 instance. It controls traffic at the instance level. So the traffic flows all the way up here, and at this point here, again, this is a line of defense that would determine and validate based on the rules we define whether a traffic is allowed inside or a traffic is allowed outside. That's inbound or outbound. So that's the job of the security group. So a security group is a set of firewall rules that controls the traffic to your instance. Again, you can add rules to allow or deny specific traffic. Sorry, this is wrong, not deny. Allow specific traffic reaching your instance. If you do not add something, then if you do not allow some traffic, then it automatically gets declined. Usually, you can only define allow rules within the security groups. So that's a key thing to remember. You cannot explicitly block something. I think you can only define what is allowed and everything else get denied. You can create a new security group or select from an existing one below when you're creating an instance. Let me show that here. So when you're creating an EC2 instance, using everything default here. So this is where we have the security groups. And this is something you can create as you create the instance. So this is one point where you can create, and these are the different firewall steps you can define to allow certain traffic. Say, for example, if I want to allow ping, so that's ICMP, right? So ICMP v4. So here I can say 0.0.0, which means anywhere from the internet, anybody can ping this instance, or I can restrict this to very specific subnet, either from within my corporate network or another trusted network somewhere else. So this is the place where you define those firewall type of rules, where you allow certain type of traffic to certain type of audience or source. So this is one place where you can create the security groups while you're creating the instance. The other place is within the VPC itself. You would have the ability to create is it here, security groups. So again, here we can create a security group and then associate to either existing instance if you want to swap security groups for an existing instance. So these are the two places where you can play around. The way it evaluates the rules, or it looks at all the rules before deciding whether to allow the traffic. Overall, they provide network control at the instance level. So if you look at here, it only looks and covers the instance.